Hi, everybody. Hoo hoo wee wee. I got a hair tie because I have a feeling it's going to be one of those. Feels hot outside and it feels hot in here too. Even though we got air conditioner and everything going on, I could just feel it. It's coming. It's coming. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, everybody, as I'm getting myself comfortable. Welcome. Hold up. Sorry. Put that down. Oh, put this down a little bit more. Okay, so here is the deal. All right, we have the transcripts for Friday, and we have the transcripts for today. Now, I think that it would make sense to read if we're going to do a live reading about the transcripts. So at the very least, kind of start after lunch, and kind of do as much as we can. I have about an hour. Okay. So I'm going to do as much as I can and then kind of see what's going to happen tomorrow. It's my understanding that cross examination is going to happen. Cross will happen tomorrow. Okay. So I kind of want to go right up until lunch because I can't stay for too long. And so this is kind of where I miss things. Are you guys okay with that? Because we can't start at the beginning of this. It would take us too long and I wouldn't have the time to finish it. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. So it would make sense just to start at lunch. And then, of course, this could be on the list of another video that I need to do. But it would make sense kind of right where we left off at lunch. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm hearing yes. Shout out to everybody, please. And thank you. Yeah. Okay, we trust you. Okay, Disco D, thank you. So I think we're going to start from lunch. That makes sense? I think it makes sense because that's a lot. It's a lot to kind of start from there. Now, I am going to ask a huge favor, guys. Make sure I put in the link for the transcript request. If you guys want me to keep doing this, please continue to support. It is pinned in the comments. So one of those pay options, super chat, hit the like button, do all those good things, guys, because this takes time. Being live for like 6 hours and then going back to this, it's time consuming. So I would ask any support that you guys can provide, please and thank you, as well as for any of the transcripts. I got my ice water so we can get going and we can get started because we don't have a lot of time. All right. So let's go ahead and start after lunch because today was direct examination. Welcome everybody. I'm not going to be paying attention too much to the chat because I'm going to be reading, but let me make myself a little smaller. Thank you. Okay, here we go. So again, this is Jane Doe. For those that are new, this is Jane Doe. Thank you for coming through. All right, so good afternoon. This is Comey, who's still doing the direct examination still on Jane Doe. Jane, after Cassie's lawsuit was filed, when is the next time you saw Sean in person? February of 2024. Between March of 2023 and February of 2024, in your mind, what was the the status, I'm making up words. What was the status of your relationship with Sean? That we were on a break. Did you still communicate with Sean at that point between November of 2023 and February of 2024? Yes. I want to take a look at some of these. So she's referencing the exhibits. So more exhibits are entered. Jane, what are we seeing here? This is a screenshot of something that I saw on Instagram. Who did you send it to? Sean. What date did you send it on? I sent it December 7th, 2023. Without telling us what is in the screenshot, can you tell us why you send it to Sean? Without telling us the context of the statement in the screenshot, please. It was just something that was very triggering for me. Can you please read what you sent after the text that you sent after sending that screenshot to Sean? I said, I'm crying. I'm so triggered by this because it's too close to some nights I felt force. Please stop rugging and using women for your fetish nights. It creates demons inside of us and real trauma to women who are only doing it to please you. Let that pain on other women stop with me. Leave women alone who don't want to do those. Okay, so then Comey stops her. All right. Please read the last two sentences of the text, please. I said, please leave women alone who don't want to do those nights with you, hire prostitutes, and stop emotionally harming women who love you. Oh, okay. How did Sean respond? He said, you're trying to set me up. This is crazy, effing crazy. You're recording my phone call. At that time, did you understand why Sean was sending you a text like this? I just felt like he was really paranoid and a bit in a frenzy around this time. Were you trying to set up Sean for anything? Absolutely not. Were you trying to sue Sean? Absolutely not. Did you have any plans to sue Sean? Absolutely not. Have you filed a lawsuit against anyone? Absolutely not. Have you filed a lawsuit against Sean? No. Have you ever had a lawyer send a demand letter for money to Sean? No. Okay. Let's read the text that you wrote to Sean, please. I said, no, stop calling me. You will never understand because you're so deep in your own lies. You tell yourself, I'm clearly in agony and mixed emotions. I'm healing. And you cannot be part of that journey. You just don't understand and you never will. I set up the men for myself because I didn't want to be set up with anyone, any more strangers. It was a protective instinct for myself. You will never understand. Why did you write? Why did you write? I set up the men for myself because I didn't want to be set up with any more strangers. Okay. That's what the government is asking her. I wrote that in response to him just saying again that I wanted these nights, that I'm not the one who did the outreach. Excuse me. I wrote that in response to him just saying again that I wanted these nights, that I am the one who did the outreach and things like that. And I'm here clarifying that it was a protective instinct for myself. Okay. So more exhibits are taken down. Do you have other texts and phone conversations with Sean in December of 2023? Yes. Okay. Jane, do you recognize these? More exhibits are shown. Yes. And what are they? They're text messages between Sean and I. Are these screenshots of text messages that you took? Yes. So those texts are in the gray bubbles? Yes. Sean. So those texts are in the gray bubbles, Sean, she says. Whose are those in the blue? Me. Is this one portion of a text conversation you had with Sean in December of 2023? Yes. Would you please read what Sean wrote in the top left? He says, "Are you dating? Be honest. Hello? I want in a no. I want in a no. No judgment." Then, did he leave you a voice note? Yes. Are we able to hear that in the screenshot? No. Can you read? I'm sorry. Did you send that voice note or did he send that voice note? She responds, I'm sorry. I sent that voice note. Are we able to hear it in the screenshot? No. Can you read what you wrote in the voice note? I said, put yourself in my shoes for 3 years and my perspective of things that I went through. I became a side chick of S work in my own relationship. That was really hurtful and traumatizing to be treated that way. I don't want to date or open my heart up to anyone for a while. Love always takes advantage of me. Trust issues on 1,000 right now, but I'm good. I just want to be focused. On the right side of the screen, do you see there's a word focused? And then the blue bubble at the top? Yes. Is this a continuation of that same conversation? Yes. What did Sean say in response? He said, are you seeing someone? What did you say? I just said no. How? What did he say? Do you want to come to see me at the top of the year? What did you say? I said, when the holidays are over, LOL, you crack me up. See what I mean? Side chick treatment. You just proven my point. Oh, okay. What did you mean by that? I meant that he's trying to see me after everybody is gone. And then he wants to see me when, like, his family are gone. Then what did Sean write? Hold up. Oh, my mouse. Hold up. He says, you thinking I'm playing? Where's my Christmas present? So his response, he says, you think I'm playing? Where's my Christmas present? And what did you write in response? I said, I was only financially able to provide for, okay, government speaks. And there's a redaction there. Is that the name of your child? Yes. After the name of your child, what did you write next? I had an unproductive couple of years. It was hard to concentrate. What were you referring to when you said you had an unproductive couple of years? I'm moving the camera a little bit. I was referring to the times that I was invested in this relationship where all that was happening, majority of the time, there were these nights. Why did you say you were only able to financially provide for the name of your child? Because that's all that I was able to do for the holiday season. Yes. Okay. I like to pull more exhibits. More exhibits are pulled up, and there are more messages that are pulled. Okay. Jane, what's the date of these messages? The dates are December 27, 2023. And are these messages between you and Sean? Yes. Is this a continuation of a conversation you had been having with Sean around this time? Yes. What did you write here? I said, don't ish on me even more by saying I wasn't by your side after I emotionally tortured myself for 3 years being by your side. Just like in these rooms, always never satisfied, always wanting to push me to do more. What did you write next? I said, now after being treated like a hoe for 3 years, now I'm not by your side and I hurt you. You couldn't even you couldn't even handle this pain. I'm not even the same person anymore. Would you please read what Sean wrote in response on the next page? He said, so what's your solution? We're going into a new year. And then he puts a question mark on a text message and he says, you're free on the first or second, just me and you. What are the next two texts he sends? He says he puts a question on the text that he says, so what's the solution? We're going into a new year. And then he says, I don't want to fight. Okay. More exhibits are shown. What did Sean say next? He says, how do we move on? What did you say? I said, I tolerated and dimed myself for you, Puff. Please don't discredit me. What did Sean say in response? He said, never discredited you. What did you say? I said, I uplifted you up anytime you needed me in these rooms. I took on a lot to make you happy. Okay. They go on to the next page. What does Sean say in response? He says, you're just communicating this to me this year. We live and we learn. That wasn't my intention. What did you say in response? I said, yeah. And then what did he say next? He said, stop with the rooms. Damn, you sound like you're setting me up. What you want to do, baby? What did you understand Sean was referring to when he said, stop with the rooms? She responds, I feel like he was referring to me. I feel like he was referring to me, stop mentioning or bringing up these rooms, these hotel rooms with these men. Okay. What did Sean say next? He says, just tell me. And what did you say? I said, I'm just, I said, I'm not, I just really get triggered. I hate to have went through all that and be discredited. Jane, government asked the question. Were you considering a lawsuit at this time? No. Were you considering reporting anything to law enforcement at this time? No. Then why were you sending these text messages to Sean? Because while everything was happening, I was still also in my own same exact feelings of just feeling manipulated and violated. And I was venting to the only person that I could vent to. Who was the only person that you could vent to? My partner, my lover. And who's that? Sean. Why was Sean the only person you could vent to about this? Because I didn't tell anybody about what we had going on privately. Why didn't you tell anyone else? Because it was just a shameful, dark secret of mine. Let's go to the next page and see how Sean responded, please. He says, girl, do you want to see me and work through it or not? Let's make a decision. No beef. Let's leave this in 2022. Stop right here. Government asks her to stop right there. Okay. In the next sentence, does he say, but it's on you? And then he uses a nickname for your true name. Yes. What does he say next? He says, how shall we proceed? What did you say in response? I said, I invested and put my best effort here, and it didn't give me back what I was putting in. My heart, my self-esteem, my confidence, my spirit all need some time to recover. What did he say in response? He said, love, I understand. Okay. So they go to the next exhibits. What did Sean say to you on the next page? He says, oh, you not picking up phone? Now you disappear? What did you say in response? I said, I'm trying to cool down. Saying I hurt you or I'm not there for you is triggering the trauma and pain that I took on to make sure you were good every day. It feels like a slap in my face. Excuse me, a slap in the face. Okay. Government tells her, go to the next page and see what you sent next. I said, you're gaslighting me. Government then asks, why did you write you're gaslighting me? Because he was trying to warp my reality again. And I wanted to just stay strong and what I knew as my reality. What do you mean when you say he was trying to warp my reality again? He's just trying to objection from Tini Garagos. Your Honor, court speaks. You can rephrase the question, Miss Comey. Okay. So Miss Comey's rephrasing the question. You said you felt that he was trying to warp your reality. First, who is the he? Sean. And from your experience at this time in 2023, what was your experience about how, if at all, Sean tried to warp your reality? Every time I would speak my truth or how I would be really feeling, Sean would just give me a different version of it and say it wasn't this or it wasn't that, and to just move on from whatever I was talking about. Government continues. Let's see the next messages he sent, please. The next two messages. She responds. He says, pick up. What? Government asks, were you answering Sean's calls right now? No. Why not? I didn't want him to get in my head. And how did you respond to him saying, pick up and what? I said, and it's working. So I'm trying to cool down. What were you referring to when you said, and it's working? He's gaslighting. Let's jump to pages 12 and 13, please. Is this a continuation of the same conversation? Yes. Would you please read for us what you wrote? I said, I don't believe the lovey-dovey stuff. You don't need to go there with me. I was confused and I couldn't concentrate for 3 years and feel extremely exploited, heartbroken, manipulated by you. In that time, I lost many work opportunities following you around, being high and coerced into this dark and humiliating lifestyle. Meanwhile, my peers and colleagues excelled in both meaningful personal relationships and financial stability, whereas in 3 years, I turned down work opportunities and healthy relationships to later to cater to all of your exhaustive fetishes and needs. I feel sexually exploited, mentally damaged, and emotionally drained by you. I want my wasted 3 years of time reimbursed and given back to me in the monetary amount of 100,000 per year and 15 months left of or 2 year agreement of rent, 450,000 to move on from the resentment of feeling exploited, manipulated, heartbroken, rugged, and all the losses of potential income. All right, let me stop. Let me recollect because did she just make her demands? Hold up. Hold up. I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. She says, I want my wasted 3 years of time reimbursed and given back to me in monetary amount of 100K per year and 15 months left of our 2 year agreement of rent. 450,000 to move on from the resentment of feeling exploited, manipulated, heartbroken, rugged, and all the loss of potential income. Let me get a drink of water, y'all. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Did I see BJ in the chat? Shout out to BJ. Make sure you guys are dropping some hearts for BJ. Shout out to BJ. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the chat. Sorry. And Didi, thank you so much for gifting. Spherical, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Didi, thank you for gifting the membership. I can't do the reactions, but if you guys have been blessed, put some hearts in the chat. Thank you. The girl said, you reimburse me. Okay? That's what I want. She said, that's what she said. Damn. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh man, I'm trying to get my head straight because I love inner city press, but none of this was really caught in there. All these outlets that are there didn't really catch this whole thing, and I'm like, oh Lord, she didn't send a demand letter. She wasn't planning to sue, but she was making a demand here. I think this is a demand, but I don't know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. Okay. Oh, okay, Jane. All right, so the government continues. Jane, between the first text at 11:37 p.m. and this next text you read at 12:21 a.m., what happened? Sean FaceTimes me. Did you pick up? Yes. Did you talk? Yes. What do you remember from that conversation before you sent the long text you just read? I remember he was saying, charge me, charge me, charge me for your resentment. I just need you to get over this and just tell me what it is. I don't want any loose ends. Just charge me. What did you understand Sean was telling you to do when he said, charge me? I understood that he was wanting me to come up with some sort of number to make peace with our situation. Jane, at that time, did you know how much money, if any, Sean had paid to Cassie? At that time, there was headlines saying that what it was, but no actual confirmation or anything. So, did you know? No. And again, had you threatened a lawsuit? No. Had you hired a lawyer? No. Had you sent a demand letter? No. Whose idea was it to talk money? Sean. Let's see how Sean responded. What did he say? F you. Look at the next page. What did he say next? He said, don't ever text me again. What did you write in response? I said, you made me lose out on everything. And what did he say next? He said, you're a liar. F you. I'm blocking you. Leave me alone, baby girl. You're a liar, an opportunist. F you. I'll call the police. You try to make up some ish. I'm clear. Not him trying to call the police. Girl, Wait, not him. He said, I'm going to call the police on you. Not him trying to call the police. But okay. All right. Okay. Good job, Sean Combs. Good job. All right. Okay, Miss Comey says, let's go to page, next exhibits, page 17, 14 to 15, okay? What did you do? What did you send to Sean after he sent you those texts? I said, you are the only opportunist here. You exploited the F out of me. You win. 3 years of being used, and you had 3 years of fun with my body. I said, you broke me. Our situation has never been fair to me. You asked me what I needed to move on, and now you're upset? I said, you were you were a full-time job and you consumed my life. I got nothing out of this for 3 years but demons and heartbreak. You exploited my love and made me think this was love so I could give you these fetish nights. Okay. Comey says, let's jump now. So they're jumping pages, more exhibits. This is a continuation of the same conversation, Jane. Is this a continuation of the same conversation, Jane? Yes. What did Sean say at the top of the page? He says, "So leave me alone. I'm blocking this number. I'm calling police." What did you say in response? I said, "You use me for your D parties." How did Sean respond? He said, "God bless you." What did you say? I said, "And I was too stupid." Okay. More messages. What did Sean say next? He said, "Leave me alone, con artist." What did you say in response? I said, "You keep describing yourself. You cornered me into sucking and effing and the D for you and letting strangers run trains on me." Oh, I can't read that. Lord have mercy. Letting strangers run choo-choos on me. All right. I gotta censor myself a little bit, okay? Oh my God. Oh my, this is like, oh, okay. What was the second word of the text? What was the second word of that text? You, I'm sorry. There's like a gash in my screen. Can you move that so that we can see it? Okay. I said, "You keep describing yourself. You conned me into sucking and effing D's for you and letting strangers run choo choos on me." So we go, my ears, choo choos. We gonna say choo choos, okay? All right, Miss Comey, look, Miss Toby's like, there's gonna be a sidebar here. Look, Miss Comey says, let's look at pages 24 to 25, okay? What did you write next? I said, "No one has ever treated me like this." Don't read the next text, please. Okay. The government's telling her, don't read this part. In the next text, do you refer to a past relationship of yours? Yes. Is that what you say in the text, something you had told Sean about previously during your relationship with Sean? Yes. How does Sean respond? He said, "You playing around. Do you want me to call the police? I'm asking out of respect for your family." And then please don't read the next message. Okay. Government's instructing her what to do. But does the next message reference another past relationship of yours? Yes. Oh, enter the chat. Half dollar. Half dollar has entered the chat. Okay. There, another person is being referenced here. Okay. The past relationship. Okay. And what, hold up, y'all. Let me get it together because I need a drink of water for this one. And what you say in that message. Had you talked to Sean in the past in your relationships with him? Yes. Okay. Says, let's take that down. What do you say on the next page? I said, "I'm going to K myself." I said, "You all use me and break me." Jane, do you remember sending these texts? I do. What was going through your mind when you sent these texts? I just wanted everything to go black. Damn, that's deep. Let me stop right here. Who also tried to K themselves in this situation? Cassie. This woman is, this Jane Doe is sharing her experience, how she also tried to K herself. Okay. So I think that there's something to be said about here. It's like they kind of both went in a dark place because of this. All right. So there are more exhibits. Jane, can you read the text message you sent, please? Till you're done with me, I hate my life. What did Sean say in response? He said, breathe, goodbye. What did you say in response? I said, I just want to die. What did Sean say? He said, no. What did you say next? I said, you all bait me like you hate me. You all break me. Jane, why did you write these texts? Because I was just so overwhelmed with the evil, just energy, and it was just so evil. This time was very evil and dark. Jane, did you continue your conversation with Sean after this? No, I don't think so. Did you later talk with Sean more in December? Yes. Okay, so more exhibits are shown. Jane, these more messages between you and Sean? Yes. And is Sean referencing the earlier conversation we were just reading? Yes. What did Sean say here? He says, okay, just don't threaten to hurt yourself. I love you. I'm here if you need me. What was the date of that? December 28, 2023. What did you write in response? I said, nobody loves me. And going to the next page, did you edit that text? Yes. And then let's go down to the next one. How did Sean respond? He says, I will. And can you do the same for me, please? Thank you. And then what did you say? I said, call me and ask me to charge you. You kept pressuring me all day. Even said lawyers would be involved, insisting on this conversation, on what I need to move on. Then I did what you asked, and you spew out all of your evil on me. Then ask who I'm seeing if I'm dating over and over. You threaten to release my tapes and threaten to post them. You jab at my wounds. Not even once have I called you anything out of your name. You are psychotic. Jane, I wanted to break this down. First, when you said you called me and asked me to charge you, what were you referring to? I was referring to the FaceTime where he was asking me to give him a number amount because he wanted me to get over my resentment. He wanted me to charge him, as he said. Okay. And when you wrote, you kept pressuring me all day, even said lawyers would be involved. What did you understand? What were you referring to there? I remember this day, he was just calling me and just putting a lot of pressure on me. It was just back to back pressure phone calls. And then government asked. And then later on, you said you threatened releasing my tapes and threatened to post them. What were you referring to there? At the height of his anger, he said, I'm just going to show your child's father these tapes. I have nothing to lose. Was that over the phone? A FaceTime? How did he say that to you over the phone? What tapes did you understand Sean was referring to? These tapes with other men at these nights. Okay, so more exhibits are taken down, more exhibits are put up. What did you write in the top left that same day? I said, you went on a bipolar tangent on me, and I have left you alone. I have not asked you for anything. I have politely declined all of your invitations because I know I needed some space and quiet time for myself to heal from the trauma I experienced and the mistreatment I experienced in our relationship. You baited me today. I was doing what you asked me to do, like I always do. I did what you asked of me. And then you went ape shit on me and started threatening me and making me cry and bringing all my exes that have abused me, telling me you would expose my tapes and send it to my child's father is so low of you. That is no small threat. Your words hurt so deeply. On top of the trauma you've already caused me, I'm already heartbroken. You're the one who's kicked me, who's kicking me down when I'm broken. I have been leaving you alone. Ooh, damn. Hold on, let me see. Ooh, let me look at the chat real quick. Are y'all good? Okay, because this is deep. This is deep. Oh my God. Sylvia, thank you. Thank you. Restock on the sidebar for therapy. Thank you for the $4.99. And thank you, Sylvia. I'm gonna do we're gonna need a sidebar, that's for sure. Oh my God, this is deep. Okay. Whew. And then hold up. Let me shout out some people before I forget to hold up. Damn, this is too much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Olson, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold up. And oh my God, Storm, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. For thank you. I appreciate it. For all that I do. Thank you, Storm. I appreciate it. Oh my, this is deep, man. Sylvia, she said $49.99 for more transcripts, please. This is like deep, you guys. Like, all right, we're gonna keep going. All right, just need a little water break here and there because let me just say this, like the way she's speaking, I can't lie to you. It takes me back to like times when maybe I might have gone through something similar. Sylvia, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you for the support. You are amazing. Thank you. Think about it this way, like, oh my goodness. All right, this is deep. It's deep. But okay. This is her. It's not like he's saying anything. These are her text messages, okay? But these are deep. And again, this is not something that is being posted publicly. So the fact that we have these and we're able to kind of really dig in, it's like, damn, it's a lot. But thank you, Sylvia. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, okay, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. We're going to do our best to try to get as much as we can, okay? Okay, government continues asking question. Jane, earlier in that text you wrote, I have politely declined all of your invitations. What invitations were you referring to? I was referring to Sean inviting me to Miami and wanting me to come over there and comfort and console him. Okay. You can take those exhibits down. Jane, after Sean threatened to release your tapes, who did you reach out to? I reached out to KKK. Remind us, who is KK? KK is Sean's chief of staff and head assistant. Why did you reach out to KK after Sean threatened to release your tapes? Because KK is like his right brain. She's probably the very few people he listens to. How did you reach out to KK? Through text messages? How soon after Sean threatened to release your tapes did you text KK? Very soon. Okay, so more exhibits are pull up. And by the way, government conversations are showing just how deep KK was in this ish. Like KK was so deep in this, you guys don't even know. This woman is not innocent. You cannot tell me she was coerced. I'm sorry. Like, no. KK is in on the mud. Okay, let's keep going. Jane, do you recognize this? So she's shown an exhibit. Yes. What is it? It's messages between me and Chris KK. Okay. And are these all the text messages that you exchanged with KK? Yes. On what date? December 28th, 2023. Did you exchange these messages with KK shortly after the conversation with Sean about releasing your tapes that we just discussed? Yes. Okay. So more exhibits are pulled up. Jade, I want to start with the messages on the left. Okay. I'm sorry, Miss Becker. Would we zoom out? So they're trying to fix the exhibits. Read what you wrote to KK on December 28th, 2023. I said, hey, I know I would normally not involve you in anything, but he just threatened me about my S tapes that he has of me on 2 phones. He said that he would expose me and send them to my child's father. He has been bothering me for 2 months after all I've been asking for is my space. I keep telling him that I just need some time with God and that I need time to move on from him. We broke up 2 weeks ago before the controversy for a lot of things stated in that lawsuit that I personally felt in is my experience with him. When shit hits the fan, I had already entered into my own depression caused by him. He knew that. And all I asked was for my space and quiet time. I'm traumatized from this experience with him. And I'm just privately healing, and he keeps bothering me. He invites me to fly out, and I politely decline each time. Today, he went from asking me who I'm seeing over and over again and saying he feels abandoned by me. How I've hurt him. And when I reiterated all the trauma he's caused me and how mistreated I feel, he says I'm blackmailing him, and then started yelling and going crazy and saying, charge him so we both can move on. That's the longest message she wrote to KK. Pay attention to that, okay? Jane, who was the he you were writing about throughout this text message? Sean. What were you recapping for KK in this message? I was recapping our really violent argument. Is that the argument we're just talking about from December of 2023? Yes. All right. So, can we go to the next message? What's the next thing you sent to KK? I said, and after I did what he asked me to do, come up with the number for everything he's put me through, now he's threatening me and saying that he would call the police and expose my tapes and send them to my child's father, and all of these evil ass bipolar psychotic episodes he's effing having on me. Mind you, these are S tapes where I'm heavily drugged and doing things that he asked of me for the past 3 years that I'm currently recovering from. It's also extremely harmful. It's also extremely very hurtful for him to exploit me all this time and then threaten me with S tapes. Please talk some sense into him because this isn't fair to me at all whatsoever. I'm beyond hurt by him. How did KK respond? She said, hey there, about to read all this and then call you in a bit. I really haven't seen or spoken to him in 2 days, though. What did you write in response? I said, I'm sure we're both emotionally drained right now. Holy shit. Let me highlight that. I'm sure we're both emotionally drained right now. It's okay. No need to call. I'm just really stressed out with him saying that he would expose my S tapes. I just sincerely want him to give me my space and quiet time. I'm not bothering him at all for anything at all. You are his right hand woman. And woman to woman, maybe if you hear my side, you can just simmer him down because he listens to you. It's okay. Enjoying your night. I'm drained. Been crying all day. I'm fine. Thank you, KK. Okay. On page 3, what did KK say? She says, just tried you back. Okay. And then are those on December 28th? Yes. And then the next day on December 29th, what does she send you? She says, hey there, just wanted to check in on you. Between those 2 last text messages on this page, did you speak with KK over the phone? I did. What do you remember from that conversation with KK? I remember that she was like, okay, I understand. Don't worry. Nothing is going to happen with these tapes. And I asked her if she could please find the phones and just put them somewhere where they weren't reachable. And if she could just help me hide it. And she said, okay, don't worry. He is not going to do anything like that. And why don't you guys just give each other space? Just give each other space. And okay, government interrupts. I'm sorry. What phones did you ask KK to hide from Sean? The phones were where my tapes were on. And did KK agree to do that? Yes. Damn. And at the end of the conversation, what did KK suggest you and Sean do? Just give each other space. Did she say why? She said, I always tell him all the time to just give these things space. Otherwise, we end up in situations like we're in right now. Ooh, what could those be? What situations could those be? I'm asking the chat. Think about it. This is what, 2023? Think about it. Okay, government asks, what did you understand she was referring to when she said a situation like we're in right now? A lawsuit. Whose lawsuit? Cassie's lawsuit. Okay. All right. So they take exhibits down. All right. After these conversations at the end of December of 2023, how long did you go without having any contact with Sean? About until February, January or so? February? So a few weeks? Yes. What was life like for you in January of 2024? I felt like I finally had some quiet time. I got time with God. I got time to just listen to my voice and just have some sense of calm. In January of 2024, what, if any, trips did you take? I went to Las Vegas. How did you end up going to Las Vegas? A really good friend of mine and I were chatting, and I messaged him, and I was complimenting his cousin, who is another rapper, and that rapper's girlfriend. And I was saying, like, wow, I think she's just so beautiful. And how did that lead to you going to Vegas? He said, well, actually, we're all going to Vegas tomorrow. If you'd like to come, you can come. And so, did you accept the invitation? Yes. And was it an old friend of yours who invited you? Yes. How did you get to Las Vegas? By plane? Who's plane? The rapper's plane. So there's a rapper here in here, okay? There was a rapper, so I don't know. Keep that in mind. From this Jane Doe. So this is what I'm saying. She's well ingrained in Hollywood, so keep that in mind. Was that a different rapper than Sean? Yes. And was this a rapper who you never had a relationship with before? Yes. And do you remember happening in Las Vegas on that trip? Excuse me. And what do you remember happening in Las Vegas in that trip? I remember we all went to a play and we all went to a birthday dinner and we all went to this trip club, and then afterwards we were invited up to their hotel room for these birthday party events before the hotel rooms. About how many people were at the birthday party? I would say a lot of people. So a big group? I would say a big group, yes. Did you recognize anyone in the group? I did. Who? Antoine. Which Antoine? The Antoine that I had, I guess, these nights with? So Antoine, the entertainer who we just talked about earlier? Yes. How did you react to seeing Antoine at this birthday party in Las Vegas? I reacted just fine. We greeted each other, we hugged, and we were like, wow, it's so great to see you. It's so great you're here. Did you know Antoine was going to be there? No. Other than the time running into Antoine at the birthday party, had you ever seen Antoine in person without Sean also being there? No. You mentioned going back to the hotel room that night. Who invited you and your friends back to the hotel room that night? A rapper. And did you agree to go? Yes. About how long did you end up staying? About 20 minutes. Did you go with your friend? Yes. Was this a male friend or a female friend? A male friend. Were you in a relationship with this male friend or just platonic? Platonic. And what do you remember happening in this hotel room? I remember I walked in and Antoine was having S with the woman and everyone was watching. Do you recognize the woman? I didn't know who he was having S with. No. Oh my God. And who else was in the room? The rapper and his girlfriend and maybe two other people. And what, if any, interactions did you have with the rapper in that hotel room? There was some little flirtatious banter, but that was it. Other than verbal flirting with the rapper, did anything happen with the rapper? No. And then, did you leave? Yes. Did your friends leave with you? Yes. And after that, did you go back home? Yes. I want to focus again on January of 2024. So, okay, I feel like she's going to get the reason why the prosecution is bringing this up right now and there in these transcripts is likely because this is going to get brought up by the defense at some point. You tend to go to S parties. I'm just thinking in their questioning. Think about it. She's going to friends in Las Vegas, happens to run into one of the S workers that she had S with, and then here you go. She's going to S parties, right? So I'm thinking that because this has nothing to do with Sean Combs per se, other than the connection that it's an S worker. So I'm thinking that he's going to ask her, well, you go to S parties. You were at this rapper's S parties. Let's talk about that. That's just a thought of mine. Mine's y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Mine's y'all for the 20. Thank you. I'm here, new here, and loving what you're giving. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Mine's y'all. Thank you. And thank you for being in the chat earlier, too. Thank you guys for supporting. And Sylvia, shout out to you again. Oh my God, Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia. Hold up. Let me put a little heart on that. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, here we go. So let's keep going. Okay, so she says, I want to focus again on January of 2024. January 2024, how were your finances doing? Well, they were starting to pick up back. How is that? Because I decided to make an OnlyFans. Why did you decide to do that? I just wanted to reclaim my independence. And what is OnlyFans? It's a membership platform where content creators can create memberships for other fans to sign up. And what kind of content did you create? I created lingerie, swimwear, implied nude. I'm trying to censor my words. Those kinds of things. You said implied nude? Yes. What is implied nude? Where you have your hand over your body and it's just, you know, exy, suggestive ways, but you're not nude. Oh, okay. And are you alone in this content? Yes. Why did you create an OnlyFans in January of 2024? I just wanted to be independent again. I wanted to reclaim having that confidence where I didn't have to rely on anyone and just stand on my own 2 feet. Who had you been relying on? Sean. Also, in January of 2024, did you get any other money from any other source? My child support. And other than that, did your friend help you out with money? Yes. What friend helped you out with money in January of 2024? A friend named Bear. Who is Bear? Bear is just a colleague slash friend. Excuse me, a friend slash colleague. Colleague in what sense? In the sense that he had a brand and he in the past would hire to promote his brand, excuse me, his band and excuse me, hold up. Let me reread that. In the sense that he had a band, not a brand, a band, and he in the past would hire me to promote his band and advertise it on my social media. So, what contact did you have with Bear in January of 2024? We started having small talk and he was just small talking with me, and I think he kind of picked up that I wasn't really doing so well financially, so he offered me money, and actually he didn't offer it to me. He just sent it to me. How much money did Bear send you in January of 2024? 9,000. And was that in exchange for anything? He said he just said it's okay. Just do what you want, and if you want to post for it, you can. No big deal. Yeah. Did you see Bear in person in January of 2024? No. So how were you communicating with him through the whole time? Text message. Other than text message, did you have any other communications with Bear in January of 2024? No. So, excuse me, how did you and Sean get back in touch in February of 2024? Sean messaged me one morning and said he had a dream about me. What did he say about that dream? He said that he had a dream about me on the Concorde and that we were on the Concorde and that it was his private jet. And did you end up responding? Yes. What did you end up texting? Did you end up texting him? Yes. Why were you willing to text him? Why were you willing to text with him in February of 2024? Because I missed him dearly. Okay, so more exhibits are put up. What's the date of this text? December 28th, 2023. And who were you texting? And who were you texting with? Sean. And did you send this text? Yes. And what did you text him on December 28th, 2023? That you baited me into this psychotic bipolar episode today. I have been leaving you alone. What's the date of that next message Sean sends you after that? The date is February 6th, 2024. And what does he say? He says, sending you love, had a dream about you, hope you're well. Did you then have a longer conversation over the text with Sean? Yes. Okay. Jane, is this a continuation of the same text conversation between you and Sean on February 6th, 2024? Yes. And did Sean write you at the top of this page? He says, excuse me, what did Sean write you at the top of this page? He says, I miss my pretty smile. I forgot what it looks like. How did you respond? I put a heart on it. Can you read what you wrote next, please? I said, put a smile on it then. How did he respond? He says, we don't even speak your name. You don't even speak to me no more, but I want to. What you want to do for your birthday? I thought you would have had plans. And can we go to the next? What did he write? I said, he says, for real? What you're doing, and send me a pic of them pretty teeth. He says, are you free on your birthday? What did you understand? Sean was asking when he wrote, are you free on your birthday? Excuse me. Now I'm making up words. Give me one sec, y'all. All right. So let me go back a little bit. What did he write? I said, he says, for reals? What you're doing, and sends me a picture of them pretty teeth. He says, are you free on your big day? What did you understand Sean was asking when he wrote, are you free on your big day? I understood that he was asking me if I was available on my birthday. Who brought up your birthday first in this conversation? Sean. Okay. We go into more exhibits. Is this a continuance of the same conversation between you and Sean on February 6th, 2024? Yes. What did Sean write here? He says, I'm in Miami. I could fly there. How did you respond? I said, okay. How have you been? Is that what you want to do? What did you write next? I said, you want to spend my birthday with me? How did he respond? He said, I would love to. And then what did he write next? He said, do you want me to? I've been good day by day, but I'm in good positive vibes only. And then how did you respond? I responded by putting a heart on it, and putting a heart on I've been good day by day, but I'm good. And I put a heart on I would love to. So she's back to this? She was back to this in here. Wow. Okay. What did Sean say next? Excuse me. What did you say next? Okay, that's a mixed read from the government. I said good, stay strong. How did Sean respond? He said, say what you want to do on your birthday. What did you say next? He put a question mark on my text. I'm sorry. I put a question mark on the text that he sent. And he said, do you want me to? What did you write in response? I said, I'm a little traumatized from my past birthdays, and that they ultimately led to at the end of the night. I don't know. I'm just being honest. What were you referring to when you said what they ultimately led to at the end of the night? I felt that I felt that on 2 of my birthdays, at the end of the night, they ended up being hotel nights with these men. What else did you write on the top of the next page? I said, I just don't want to get my feelings hurt. I feel disrespected for no reason. How did Sean respond? He said, shake my head. Didn't mean for the conversation to go here. I was just asking what you were doing, and you asked me if I wanted to spend your birthday with you. LOL. Don't know the conversation would take this turn. You're confusing. Can you see what he wrote next, please? He questioned my text that says, put a smile on it then. And then he questioned my text that says, I don't know. What do you have planned for my birthday? Oh my God. Okay, so they go to the pages. What else did Sean text? And then he questioned, you want to spend my birthday with me? So he basically went back and changed the reactions to each of the message bubbles, right? Like he went back and was like questioning everything that she was putting there. That's what it sounds like to me. Let me know if you guys think the same in the chat, because that's what I'm getting from here. Because he was like, I'm so confused by this, right? Okay. So, what else did Sean text next? She responds, and then he questions, you want to spend my birthday with me? My text that says you want to spend my birthday with me. Before all of those texts that Sean had questioned you, who brought up your birthday first in this conversation? Sean. What did you write in response? I said, no, you're right. I got flashbacks from the past and they took over for a sec. What did you write next? I said, it's okay. I just know me. It's just going to actually make me feel worse. LOL. Right after you got home, girl's birthday, and then Valentine's. What were you referring to when said right after you got home girl's birthday and then Valentine's? I was referring to that his other girl that he was seeing's birthday was also coming up, and then following that would be Valentine's. So I would probably experience something short and just, I don't know, not good. Oh man, this right here, my friends, rings a lot of truth to the Little Rod Jones lawsuit. Okay, because he saw this Jane Doe as an S worker. Okay. And as well as Young Miami and Jade and all these other people that he was seeing, these were S workers to him. Okay. These were not like, it's like no feelings. These were S workers. That's how he was seeing this. And this is kind of like ringing truth even in his messages. Here's this girl telling you she's been through all of this in past texts, and you're still kind of bringing this up. Okay. Okay, question. I'm sorry. What did you write on the next page? Answer. I said, I don't even want to mix my thoughts and emotions intertwined with seeing all of that. It's always like I get less and you go do your big one. Oh my God, hold up. Does that make sense? Sorry, my eye caught. What do you say? Diddy thinks everyone wants a big black tea for his birthday. Oh my God. Wait. I can't even. I love how you misspelled that. Shout out to you. He wants a big black D for his birthday because that's what he wants for each of his birthday. Maybe just wanted a dinner that didn't end up with the big black tea. Okay, Mims. I have been saying this, but I'm no expert, okay, on this. But is it true, in your opinion? Do you feel like this man was like DL? Like he just hated women, and then the only way he felt like he could get through a man was through a woman. So he's using these women, and that's what he's doing. I'm kind of wondering what your thoughts are. Right? I saw Mim say something from the corner of my eye, and then he said big black, and I was like, oh God. Oh my God. I'm kind of wondering. Shout out to Mims in the chat, y'all. Make sure you go follow him and support him. He's out there doing the good work. Oh my God. So there you go. Like Alexa said, he used women. Like he hates women, but he was really like DL. Like he wanted a man. Okay. And again, he's in a situation where maybe he doesn't feel like it's accepted. But yeah, Like he wanted a man. He likes men. So he used women kind of like as objects, but he really wanted to be with the guy. That's what it sounds like to me. But I don't know. I'll let Mims. I'm kind of curious to know if he's still in the chat what he thinks about that. Okay. Um here we go. Let's go. So, so she was asked what they were referring to her. So I probably experienced something good and short. I just don't know. Okay. So then the government asked, I'm sorry, what did you write on the next page? I said, I don't even want to mix my thoughts and emotions intertwined with seeing all of that. It's always like I get less and you go and you do your big one. And what did you write below that? I said, I'm good. I appreciate you remembering my birthday though. Don't stress it. Oh, so she was trying to see if he had changed? Like if he was probing her for an FO. That's what it sounds like. Damn. Okay. So then they move on to the next pages of the exhibits. What did Sean write? He said, well, if you change your mind and you want to have a wholesome, beautiful birthday celebration, the beautiful you, let me know. Love. What did you write below these texts? I said, let's wait until it's the right timing. Given our histories, the back to back of celebrations just opens up things and arguments. I don't I don't want to actually meet up, but go ahead. How did he respond? He said, I love you. I miss you. It was great seeing you in my dreams last night. Stay happy. Love. Okay. So they go to other exhibits. Jane, are these more texts between you and Sean? Uh, Are these more texts between you and Sean? Yes. Can you look at the green bubble on the left, please? Yes. What did Sean write? He said, I was just saying that your assumption was wrong from the get. I was going to get some there and do something with you for your birthday. Hold up. So let me stop right here. What did Sean write? So this is what Diddy wrote to her. I was just saying that your assumption was wrong from the get. I was going to come there and do something for you for your birthday. You assume I had plans this weekend, and all I'm saying is that you're wrong from jump. And you asked me if I wanted to do something for your birthday. It was your idea. All good. Hope you have a better day. Love you. Is that a continuation of the conversation we were reading earlier? She says, yes. How did you respond? I said, you asked me 3 times if I'm free on my birthday. It was more of a question like, yeah, I'm free. Did you want to spend it with me? Question mark. Okay, going to the next page, what did you write? I said, however way it goes, I'm still hurt. And he says, I thought it was just a good idea. You just want to hate me. What did you write in response? I said, I'm feeling it right now. So I'm just being a friend. I don't think I'm ready to see you. How did Sean respond? Have a good night. Damn, this guy is really good at fucking gaslighting you. Like, you're the one asking her. Oh my God. The gaslight is real here. Damn. Okay. And this is a continuation of the same conversation. The conversation is still going. Yes. What did Sean write? He says, it's your birthday. You deserve to let me make you feel happy. What did you write in response? I said, we're already having a tiff and I'm just going to be crying. What did he say? Give me a hug. And what did you say? I said, you hate me when I cry. And what did he say on the next page? He says, you're going to be happy as a mother effer, laughing the whole time. And what did you say? I said, I'm already crying right now. You're too close to my heart. What did he say in response? He says, I need your laugh. It's your birthday. You'll be fine. What? 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 Did you end up agreeing to go see Sean for your birthday? Yes. Why? I'm getting mad reading this. Why? Why did she end up? Why? I'm like, girl, he's gaslighting you in the messages. What? Sorry. I'm having a moment. I'm like, why? Why? Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, hold up. Was it in February of 2024? Yes. Okay, so they go to other exhibits. Okay. Did you continue texting to your plan? Did you continue texting to plan your trip going to see Sean for your birthday? Yes. And did you also talk over the phone at some point about that? Yes. And can you look at the top left text on this page? Please. Yes. It says, "Would you please uh would you please would you read these please?" Okay. Yes, I said, "Okay. Well, can you please tell me really quickly? I'll call you in 5 minutes." Then what did you say below that? I said, "Oh, just text me LOL." What were you talking about there? I'm not sure if it was the travel agent or KK. So talking about your plans to travel. Yes. To where? Miami. For what? My birthday. Oh man. Oh man. I already see this coming already. Okay. Jane, when you left for Miami, what were you expecting? I was expecting a one-to-one time with my lover. What happened when you got to Miami for your birthday in February 2024? I remember we had a really nice night. I remember when I landed, Sean had candlelight the whole entry to the house. Um, excuse me, Sean had candle lit the whole entryway to the house, to the other house. And I remember when I saw him, my heart started beating super fast. And I feel like his heart was beating super fast too. And we were both oddly in the same color. And let me pause you, says the government. Where was your birthday celebration on February of 2024? It was at 2 star, but I walked over to 1 star. On the walkway, he had candle lit. It was a home just right next to his home. You said you were oddly in the same color. Did you two happen to be wearing the same color clothes? Yes, it was a really unique gray color, so I thought that was nice. And then what happened at dinner? And then I walked in and there were balloons and gifts, and he had like a 5 star course meal ready for us and music. And it was really nice. And it was like a proper birthday dinner that I've always wanted. And what happened after dinner? After dinner, we just had drinks. He was telling me how much he loved me, how much he missed me, how he never wanted me to leave again. And just to me, I was feeling the same way. I was telling him how much I loved him so much and I missed him. And he just kept telling each other how much we loved each other. And following that, we started getting high and making love. You said you started getting high. What drugs did you use? X. Who gave you the X? Sean. After you'd taken X, what happened next? So after that, it just started to become like morning time. And I just remember him like saying, like, "Do you want to see Don?" Oh my God, not again. So that's when she's asking about Don. And how did you respond when Sean asked you, "Do you want to see Don?" At that point, I think I was high and I was like, "Okay, why did you say okay?" I don't know. I just at that point, I was just so used to this being the outcome of whatever we're doing that I just accepted it. So what happened next? So we went to the other home and I see Don and I'm with Don for okay. The other home, what other home did you go to? The home across the 1 star. Okay. Is that Sean's home at the 1 star Miami? Yes. What happened next? Me and Don had S. And and in front of who? Sean. I got to stop right there. Okay? Let me stop right there. Because first of all, I want to get to the part where because apparently there was violence between these two. So I can't even finish reading all of this, okay? Um let me see. Um That is crazy. And then Greenhill was mentioned again, so we got to get to that part. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can here because I know she's going to be crossed tomorrow. But apparently there was a violent situation happening here between these two. Okay? He said my mother's coming. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull it. Oh, here it is. So, had you ever sent a demand letter to him or his lawyers for money? No, we already established that. How did you okay. How did you respond? I said, no problem. And then what did Sean write? He said, "You making real money, so I hope you can have a clean break. And I don't want to have that burden. Just move on. I told Robin, let's figure it out whenever you have time. Have a beautiful day." So this is when he was trying to quote unquote let her go, right? About where she was living. So Robin gets mentioned again. Okay. Robin, the accountant, who's also with Lou Taylor. Okay. Keep that in mind. What did you understand Sean was referring to when he said you're making your own money? I understood Sean to basically be saying that I am now making my own money, that he had been out of this agreement with him paying my rent or any of that. And when he said, I hope you can have a clean break, what did you understand Sean was saying? I understood him to just mean that he wanted to just break up, like in a graceful way, a quiet way. Did you understand why Sean wanted to break up at this point? He just he just seems frustrated here. Okay. When he said I told Robin, what did you understand he was referring to? I understood he was referring to his accountant Robin. And what did Robin do in your life? She was responsible for paying the rent on time. How did you respond to this text? I said, I'm paying off debt from 3 years ago of being unfocused and unemployed with the money that I'm making now. If you can just give me 3 months to include a new 10K bill a month on top of my debt from being on your on call party girl, then that would be appreciated. Damn. What were you talking about when you said I'm paying off debt from 3 years? I'm being unfocused and unemployed. I was just speaking on just the debt that I had accumulated being in this relationship plus the furniture. How did you end up in debt when you were dating a millionaire? That's the question. Who would who would send thousands of dollars hold up. How did you end up in debt when you were dating a millionaire who would send you thousands of dollars at a time sometimes? Objection, says Teeny Garagos, leading. Okay. I want to get to the part where they got into it. I think it was the kitchen. Was it the kitchen? Yes. Okay, this is literally right. Oh, yeah, this was going to take us forever to get there. So there was DV between them, I guess, at some point. Okay. So what do you see here, Jane? It's a couple of photos of Sean in the living area, and I took a photo of the house. Who took these photos, these pictures? Me. When? On June 18th. Okay. So this is the kitchen. This is where the bar stools are at. This is the counter space. Okay. Let's see. Something happened in the kitchen counters. June 18th. At some point after you took the video, did you and Sean get into an argument? Yes. About how long after you took the video did you and Sean get into an argument? I would say maybe 30 minutes later. And before you got into that argument, what, if any, controlled substance or alcohol had you had? I had champagne and a little tequila. What, if any, controlled substances or alcohol had you observed Sean take? Just the same, champagne and tequila. Okay, we could take that down. Jane, can you tell us how the argument between you and Sean started about 30 minutes after that video? I started confronting Sean about who he was with on this family trip. So the family trip where he's like, I got to go with my mom. I remember that part before I had to stop going live. His family trip to Utah, did he just come back from? Yes. What were you confronting him about? I was making an assumption that he was with another woman, and it just really angered me. I think at this point in our relationship, I was just bottling up a lot of resentment and anger towards him. So what did you say to Sean? I said, "You're oh Lord." She called him a a, a Pedialyte. She called him a Pedialyte. She called him a Pedialyte. Was the woman he was with that you believe she was in Utah an adult? Yes. Did you believe and understand that she was over the age of 18? Yes. Why did you say he was a Pedialyte then? Because I felt like he was about, I don't know, 25, 27 years her senior. And that relationship had just always rubbed me the wrong way. But that's not, she's not underage. Oh my God. See, I missed this part. Is that the woman who was younger than you? Yes. But still over the age of 18? Yes. Let's make that very clear. What else did you say to Sean? I just remember calling him a Pedialyte. And I said, if a girl can't buy her own drinks, what makes you attracted to her? Why did you say that if a girl can't buy her own drinks? Because I believe when they started, that she was younger than 21, but over 18, yes. What was your tone of voice when you starting this argument with Sean? I think it was getting heightened. Were you angry? Yes. And as you were getting angry, what happened next? He bent over and pushed his head on the counter. And when you say he bent over, where were you and Sean during this argument? We were sitting on the kitchen counter, kitchen counter. Were you sitting on those stools that we saw in one of those photographs earlier? Yes. And you said Sean was bending over. What do you mean by that? Like he was about to tie his shoe. He, as he was bent over, what did you do? I pushed his head on the marble. She pushed his head on the marble? Damn. So she was like, psh. I see, I didn't know this part. Because when I logged off, I logged off. Okay. I pushed his head on the marble. How hard did you push his head into the marble? I gave it a good shot. Oh, this girl was like, bam. After you pushed his head into the marble, at any point that night or later day, did you see any marks or injuries on his head where he had hit the marble? No. What happened after you pushed his head into the marble? I just remember that I went into the master bedroom. Jane, before you went into the master bedroom, uh, before that, I started throwing candles everywhere. I started taking all the candles and started throwing them. I started taking all the glass and I started throwing it. Why were you doing that? I was angry with him. Why were you angry? It was a build up mix of everything that I was just angry and hated him for it in that moment. Oh God, I know how that feels. Just the moment when you got to build up. What were you saying to him as you were throwing these things? I said, I hate you. I just kept saying that I hated him. Did any of the glasses hit Sean as far as you could see? I remember a lot of wax went on Sean, but I don't remember striking him with those glass directly. When you say wax went on Sean, do you mean the wax went on his clothing? Yes. Okay, I got to hurry up, y'all. What did Sean say in response to as you were throwing things at him? I can't recall, but I think he was probably cursing and calling me crazy. Do you remember his tone of voice? Angry. At some point, did you try to leave that living and kitchen area? Yes. Why did you try to leave? Because I knew that things were going to escalate. So I just wanted to lock myself away. Where did you go to lock yourself away? In the master bedroom. Now, at that point, before you locked yourself away, had Sean touched you at all? Not yet. Oh, so he does get his hands on her. Okay. So at that point, what had Sean said to you that made you feel like things were escalating? I just remember he was just calling me effing crazy. And that I put my hands on him and I just wanted to close the door behind me. And I was just leave, just leave, just leave. Who were you saying just leave to? Sean. Okay. I have to get to the point. All right. In the master bedroom, what did you do with the doors to the master bedroom? I locked it. Objection. Can you rephrase? Okay, they rephrase the question. What happened after you locked the master bedroom door? He kicked it open. Who kicked it open? Sean. Where did you go after Sean kicked your master bedroom open? Your locked master bedroom door. I went into the master bedroom. Damn. What did you do in the master bedroom? I locked it. You locked what? I locked the door. I locked the door from where to where? Locked the door from where to where? From the bathroom door. I closed it and I was in the bathroom What were you saying as you locked the master bathroom door? Objection sustained. Okay, I'm jumping. Um, were you saying anything as you locked the master bathroom door? I just kept telling him to leave. What happened after you locked the master bathroom door? He kicked it. He kicked it down. Who kicked it down? Sean. When you say kicked it down, do you mean literally off the hinges or just open? Literally off the hinges. She says she went into the closet. Okay, it was a walk-in closet. What did you do in the closet? I locked my closet. Your closet door? Yes. Okay, so then I just kept telling them to leave throughout the whole time. Hold up. Was Sean saying anything? I just remember him calling me crazy and a few other things. But later after that, okay, I'm focusing on when he kicked the door. So she was kind of jumping in. Okay. So she's going to the hallway area from the closet. Here it is. Sean kicked me from the back of my thigh, and then I fell off my butt. Then he picked me up in a chokehold and choked me. Who picked you up on the chokehold? Sean. Can you explain to the jury how Sean put you in a chokehold? He put me in a chokehold to the ground, lifted me up, and I couldn't breathe. This is the second time I've heard somebody be lift up, okay? And I was on my tippy toes. Did he lift you up by your neck? Yes. Okay. And after Sean lifted you up by your neck in his chokehold, what happened next? I went from the front door. Okay, Jane, how did you get through the front door if he had you in a chokehold? I just squirmed out of it and was just fighting his grip on my neck. And I was just trying to get out of his grip. Okay. So she describes what's happening. So before you got to the front hallway and before what you just described happened, had you changed your clothes? Yes. When I was in the closet. So she had a change of clothes. Okay. Um, let's see. So why did you change your clothes? Because I just knew I needed to run away and get away. Why did that require you to change your clothes? Because my dress was too tight and I wanted to make sure that I just put something to get away from a situation. So what did you change into? A really big dress. A really big like daytime summer dress. What was on your feet? At that time pointed high heels. So she was changing and wearing high heels and everything. So when you went out into the front hallway and Sean kicked you, and you put in a chokehold, what were you wearing? I was wearing the looser dress. My heels were coming off, and I unstrapped my heels and made it to the front door. And I just wanted to run and get away from him because I didn't want to wake up I didn't want to wake up the neighbors. So she runs barefoot, and I ran to this. I knew he wouldn't find me, so she ran to where you wouldn't find her. About how far away from your house is this wall? I would say like 6 blocks or so. You ran that whole way? What were you wearing? I was barefoot in a dress. Oh my God. What did you have with you? Nothing. Why did you have nothing with you? I just needed myself. I just needed to get away. Okay. How long were you hiding? For 2 hours. Are you estimating? Yes. Okay. So I'm skipping. So, let's see. Hold up. I went on a very long walk. I went on a very long way back to the residence, excuse me. And I walked like half a mile or so in the middle of the night. And I was just walking back thinking that he wasn't going to be there. And I thought that within that time frame, he'd be gone by now. Who would be gone by now? Sean, what did you see when you got back to your house? Objection. Okay. Grounds, assumptions of facts. The teeny girl is objecting to this. Okay. I gotta stop, guys. I have to stop. Oh my God. There's a sidebar. I can't even get into the sidebar right now. But I want to get into, let me see what they're saying. How did they end this? Because they literally went all the way to 5. So she's in therapy. Okay. She had to go to the grand jury. She's talking about that here. All right. We definitely gonna do a pre-recorded on this. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. Just wanted to give you guys a brief little look. She is running barefoot in a dress. Hold up. My camera's going in and out. Oh, this is why. This is just me skimming through some of it because I missed a lot of this because, I had to go. But damn. There was a fight when she got back. Another one? Damn, I'm going to have to read that. That's not even the worst. I can't even get into it, y'all. I promise to get into it. The shower part was insane. Hold up. What shower part? There was a shower part? Oh, you talking about when he kicked the when she was trying to get away? That's crazy. The love bomb? That is crazy. I cannot, man. I cannot. All right, guys. So I'm gonna do a pre-recorded on this because clearly I have to review so much of it. We just got the transcripts for Friday, so there's more there clearly. But this is just insane. It gets way worse, says Deanna. Oh my God. All right. Hit the like button, guys. I gotta go because I gotta go to bed. Y'all, tomorrow I gotta be up early and do all this. Make sure you guys are supporting, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And shout out to everybody that supported. Gen X, thank you so much for being a member for freaking 6 months. Shout out to you. Mercy Miami, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. I think you upgraded. You might have already been a member. Really, Danny Lay? So he was beating her in the shower with clothes? Oh my God. Y'all, this is very triggering. All right. I will see you guys mañana. Bye, guys. Hit the like button. Bye, bye, bye.